everybody, my name is Brittany and I will be the host of this knitting podcast here on YouTube, and I'm super excited to be coming to you today. This will be my first episode, so if I'm a little nervous, weird talking to the camera, I apologize. It's a little bit strange. Anyway, again, my name is Brittany. Me and my husband and our puppy, he's not a puppy anymore, I guess. He's still a puppy. Are coming to you from Virginia Beach, where we currently live. So pretty exciting. I guess I'll do a little bit of a get to know me thing. I have been knitting for really knitting since my freshman year of college. So that's 4 years now, which is super exciting. I have been, however, crocheting since middle school. So I've always kind of had a love for crafting and all of that kind of stuff. Even when I was younger than when I started crocheting, I often did little like Palmer clay charms and little statues and all of that kind of stuff. So I've always really enjoyed crafting, and as I've grown up, it's really transformed into a love of knitting and occasionally crocheting. I don't crochet as much anymore, so I actually mostly do knitting now, which is kind of crazy. But you know, I think as we get older, I know I'm not that old, but I know as we, you know, go through different phases of our life, there are different arts that we enjoy doing. I've also enjoyed cross stitching. I'm trying to get into embroidery. I just bought some stuff, so I'll show that to you as well. But yeah, so this is mostly just gonna be like a crafting, knitting, crocheting, cross stitching, maybe embroidery, sort of podcast where I can show you all of the things that I love doing and where you can share your thoughts and creativity as well. And I look forward to seeing all of that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get started into the podcast. We'll start off with, what am I drinking? Got a cup of coffee here. I love mugs, first of all. I think almost everyone in the knitting community loves mugs. I don't know what it is. I also love school supplies, pens, whatever. But this mug actually was a gift. I interned at a really cool company, and I was gifted this by the CEO of the company. Whenever he and his family traveled, he always brought, it was a really, really small company. So he always brought small trinkets and gifts back for the people who worked there, and I felt very lucky to get this from him. Love Starbucks and I love mugs, and I love their Where I'm At mugs, so this was absolutely perfect. And I love having a sip of coffee out of it every once in a while as I shift through all of my different mugs. So that is what I'm drinking today. So where I'm at, like I said, we do live in Virginia Beach. I'm just in my little crafting corner here. You can see I've got all of these are my skeins, got some books and actually a flower waterer, with some knitting needles and crochet hooks. I thought it was really cute. I got it so long ago. I can't even remember where I got it. Sorry, that was our little air freshener. And then I have some caked up yarn, more yarn in the shelf below it. So that's kind of my stash back there. I have probably a pretty decent sized stash, enough that I've told myself I'm not gonna buy any more, but like sometimes I still do. I think that's probably relatable. And then over here I've got kind of a 3-tiered drawer set. It's the rolling 3-tier from IKEA. I'm sure most of you will know. I think it's used usually for like bathroom and kitchen, but I used it for knitting, so whatever. It's my crafting rolling shelf thing. So I've got some languishing works in progress there. Over here I have my whips that I'm working on right now. I have a blanket I'm working on right now. I have a cross stitch piece. I I also have a book that I'm reading right now that I am absolutely loving. So that's what we'll go over today. Might grab a languishing whip depending on how long this is, and I'll also show some of my hand-dyed yarn that I just dye for my own personal use. I really enjoy it. I think someday I'd like to have a company, maybe, I don't know. I just really enjoy it, playing with colors, being creative in a different sort of way. I think it's a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so on to works in progress. I don't have any finished objects of like any importance other than a few socks that I recently finished, but I've been kind of working on some larger projects that have been taking up a lot of my time, which is totally perfect, totally fine. So let's go ahead and get into those. The first one, I'm sure many of you guys have one of these, is a scrappy blanket. I'm doing it in the form of the Granny Stripe by Attic 24. I'll put that information somewhere here, but it's the Attic 24 crochet blanket, and this is what she looks like. Yeah, so I love all of these colors together. I'm really not doing it in any sort of specific way. Here, I'll do this way so we can kind of see all the colors. But I don't have any specific like color pattern that I'm doing with this. It's just, okay, what did I finish last, or what many do I have? Like, what's next? What can I grab? And that's kind of what I go for. This one is one of my favorites. It's by Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. That's Yarn Company, and it is just this, like, it's her Galaxy colorway. That is Megan, and she's got a beautiful Yarn Company, as well as she's a designer of fantastic things. Actually, one of her projects is on my like upcoming what I want to knit list, but that's one of hers. And this one's fun. This is by, ooh, who's it by? It's if I remember it, I'll put it in here, but it's super fun. Anyway, so yeah, the last one that I did was this really beautiful green color, and this pink right here is gorgeous as well. So I think this is gonna be my next one. This is what I have left of, it'll focus. This is what I have left. And it's she's German. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her shop, but I'll put it down here. I believe her name is Regina. If I got that wrong, I'm so sorry. But anyway, it's a really beautiful color. It's so light and delicate, but it occasionally has these really bright pops of just this like stunning green. So I'm really excited to put that in. I have this left from some socks. It will focus. Yeah, I made some socks out of this a while ago. So that'll go in my blanket as well. So those are kind of what's coming up next for the blanket. Okay, so my next work in progress is a Stephen West pattern that I'm super excited about. It is the Penguono. I'll just show it. So this is the back panel, and you can see where I have some mistakes. There's a tail. I definitely, it's a seed stitch, and there's like a few rounds where I messed it up, but that's totally okay. And I'm holding 2 fingering and a mohair in this. I wanted it to be pretty big. And I've started on the little side, I don't even know what they're called because it was the first time I did them, and I don't even think I did them right. So that's okay. But anyway, so these are my color kind of, I'm really just using like as much scrap as I can and just really enjoying it and enjoying like the halo that's on it. I don't know if it's picking up on camera. I think you can see it there. a little bit maybe. But yeah, I'm just using this mohair that I got from back home in Georgia, the yarn shop that I used to go to. I got quite a few of those before I left because they were having a really good sale. And then this one, I believe is Madeline Tosh. Yes. This is Madeline Tosh Night Broom, I think. I keep all the little, usually I keep all the little tags in there. So this is Madeline Tosh, and then I have a homespun house. This gorgeous color is, I believe, yes, Mermaid of the Black Lake. So those three colors together I thought made a beautiful, and I still stand by it, that beautiful kind of marled color together. And then this one was like a super fun color plus this, so it kind of muted it down a little bit. But again, this is going to be the back panel, and I think as it comes forward I'm going to make it like a little more muted, but I'm not sure yet because I'm really just doing it with like ones, you know, I have like a lot of one skein purchases that I made without really any sort of intent. I was not buying like intentional basically for my yarn. So that being said, I've got a lot of skeins that I only have one color of. So I'm kind of just like putting things together that way. And if it doesn't match, that's totally fine. Like I don't care if like the side panels match or even the front panels, like if they match, I don't really care. As long as the colors go together, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. It is a labor of love, especially those long, I think they're called welts. I have a little bit of a hard time with them, I'm not gonna lie. I almost consider just like trying to estimate, like trying to gauge how long they would be and just like knitting, but then I was like, whatever, I'll just do it, and if it comes out weird, that's fine. Right? Because like it's a wacky sweater, like in a good way, but like Stephen West's patterns are definitely different, and like I think he encourages you to use color, play with texture. So you know what, if my texture is a little bit different than his, that's okay. My sweet dog just yawned. He's so tired, he's so lazy. But anyway, so I'm not upset about it, I guess you could say. I've got a few socks that I kind of like to keep on the needles. This one is actually, I think, ready for a toe, which is awesome. So the top color up here, the cuff, is actually my hand-dyed yarn. No colorway, just having fun. This one right here is Bad Wolf Whirl Studios in her Mermaid Cove colorway. That's why I keep them in here. It's so, except for then when I take them out, I never get them back in. So this is the skein itself. It is so gorgeous. This was actually in my new local yarn store here in Virginia Beach. I could not believe it. I saw that and I was like, oh, I know who that is. I was so excited. So I went over and I grabbed one. I actually grabbed another one, and it's Silence in the Library in her like sparkly base. But I don't know what that base is called for her. But it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. Let's see if I can stuff this back in there. There we go. Anyway, so I was working on these at work. I just keep them by my desk, and on my little breaks, I just knit. And my supervisor, she loves it. She's just like, you're so crafty, and I love that. I love everything that you do. So I typically like to have some sort of project with me, because on my breaks, it's just nice to like not be on a computer and think about like communicating with the world for a second, if that makes sense. I've got a very like, basically I talk to people all day, so it's just kind of nice to relax. Here is the toe. Got that speck of gold right there. Again, this is my hand-dyed yarn, the pink, and I thought it just matched pretty well with the Mermaid Cove colorway. It also has splashes of like that peachy color, so I was like, I think that'll match well enough. And like, if it doesn't, it's on my feet, and they're gorgeous either way. So that is one sock I'm working on. Another sock that I'm working on is this one. So this pattern is the blueberry waffle sock pattern. Sorry, I was scratching my nose. That was cute. So this pattern is the blueberry waffle sock pattern. It is so much fun. I've actually got a pair of shorties out of this. I think I knit like 3 of the little like waffles, and then I did the heel, and then I just made it into the rest of the sock, and it was so fast and they're so comfortable. And my dog is chasing his tail right now. He's so sweet. Anyway, so yeah, the colorway, you might be asking, maybe you're not, I don't know who you guys are. The colorway is, again, my hand-dyed yarn. And it is kind of creating, it is pooling, which I'm totally fine with. I don't really care. I think it's really gorgeous whether it pools or not. And again, they're just like socks and they're gorgeous. So yeah, here is the cake version. I feel like, there we go, that worked. And it is so squishy. I think I did a base of purple, scattered on some of that teal, a little pink, and then I was like, I'm happy. So yeah. Okay, on to my last work in progress. Oh, I'm so excited about this one. I'm excited about all of them, but this one has been something I've wanted to do for a while now. Again, so is the Penguono, just because like so for myself, I've only ever made blankets and socks and just like smaller things. I knit dishcloths for people all the time. My grandma loves them, so I did that a whole bunch. Scarves, shawls, hats, all of that kind of stuff. So what's missing? I don't have any sweaters or anything like that. So I looked at myself and I said, you know what? We're gonna knit a sweater because you deserve one. I feel like if I'm putting all this knitting in and I'm getting socks and hats, which is great and it's fun, and blankets are great and they're fun, but also like I want to have something different. Like I want to have a sweater. So I started one and I kind of got through quite a bit of it. So it's probably like right here. So I guess if I wanted it like cropped, I could wear it cropped. But I'm gonna make it. It's the pattern. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The pattern is the Pavement Sweater by Vera Balamaki, and it is just a raglan top-down sweater with looks like it's going to be pretty wide neck, which is fine. The sleeves, I think I'm going to probably make maybe about this length. I'm thinking though, I was kind of thinking short sleeves, I'm not gonna lie. Because really, I don't know, it's just fingering weight. It is beautiful. The yarn is, again, a homespun house. Molly is one of my favorites. It is her Forest Nymph colorway. Gold Stellina base in the Forest Nymph colorway. I am alternating skeins. Although I think they're pretty similar. I still decided to alternate skeins. This is my first sweater, and I wanted it to be, it'll have imperfections, but I wanted it to look super nice and the best that I could make it. I didn't want to just not put the small effort of alternating skeins in because it's so easy. I tried to watch a video on the helix knit or helical knitting. Didn't quite get it, so I just was like, you know what, it'll be fine. We're just gonna do what we need to do. So this is the front, and it's pretty bunched up on the needles. But this is the front and the back, and it's got the short rows, of course. You can kind of see the line. I'm hoping that it'll block out. But you know, again, if it doesn't, like, that's totally okay too. So I'm not super worried about it. So this is actually what so at this point, all it is knitting. It's obviously in the round. I've done all of the increases. I've done everything that I need to do. There's no like waist shaping on this, although I might try and do some. I can't decide. I was kind of thinking that I either want it to be to end at my waist or to have hip shaping if it doesn't end at my waist. So I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna go about that yet. I still have probably like 2 to 3 inches to go before I need to worry about it. So I'm just not worrying about it because like that's the best way to go about it, right? But I'm so excited. I think it's so beautiful. I haven't tried it on yet, but I think it's gonna fit. I laid it up against another sweater of mine, and I love how the sweater that's not made by me, I love how it fits. So I just laid it up against that one, and it fits like almost exactly the same, although that other sweater does have some hip shaping. So I'm not sure. Got wider hips, so I'm not sure yet. I'm really kind of leaning towards making it a cropped sweater and having it end at my waist because 1, I want it off the needles, and 2, I think that I'll really love how that fits, like that fit of it, and be able to wear like high-waisted jeans and skirts and stuff with it. But I don't know. I'll probably just make it full length and put hip shapes in it. Yeah, I am. Okay, there it is. It was decided. I'm gonna make it the regular way with potentially some shaping around the hips for it. Cheers to that. Okay, so that concludes my whips section. I will pull out some languishing whips now, just a few. The first thing that I'm pretty excited about, this yarn is delicious, first of all. I'll just like say that. Oh, I'm so excited. So I think my camera, I don't know where it cut out. Hopefully nothing, hopefully. What I was getting into next, however, was a languishing whip that I would love to finish up. It has some beautiful yarn. It is the Legacy Fiber Arts Castle on the Hill colorway, which I believe is a Edward Scissorhands reference. However, it reminds me of Ed Sheeran. And I don't think that was what it was supposed to do though, but it really reminds me of Ed Sheeran. Like his Castle on the Hill song is so like free and lovely, and it just kind of reminds me of like soft hills in England. I don't know why, but it does. And it is the DK base by them. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. I think this is the first project I've ever made with DK yarn, and it is fabulous. So I know that my next project, my like next project, okay, let's be honest. My next project is gonna be the Soldotna sweater by Caitlin Hunter, who is Boyland Knitworks. It is a DK sweater, and it is color worked and it is cropped, and it is gorgeous. So I think that my next sweater is definitely gonna be, my next sweater is definitely gonna be that. because it is so gorgeous, and I love this yarn. Like, I can just like, the squish power. If you knew, I wish we had squish-o-vision. Again, alternating skeins. This is the Whispering Pines shawl. I can't remember, sorry. It is by Molly from A Homespun House, however, and I bought it off of her website, and it is gorgeous. It's got these sweet little details, purl like every 4 stitches essentially, and I think it is going to block beautifully. And you know, like some stitches are a little wonky, it'll definitely take care of that, and that has nothing to do with the yarn or the pattern. That was just knitting tightly in some places and looser in other, and you know, everybody knows how it is. So it's gorgeous. It's like almost done too. It's ridiculous. I don't know why I don't finish it, but like, I'm not in the middle of a row, so at least I didn't conk out on in the middle of a row, because I hate myself when I do that. So I'm just gonna kind of ball this back up and put it away. Maybe I should keep it out, that way I'll finish it. But I want to focus on my pavement sweater first. So, Languishing Whip, that, let's see, it is July. It's not July, it's June 7th, I think. Goal is to finish this by the end of June. Easy. And if I say it to you guys, that's putting it into the universe. End of June. Okay. Sweater. End of June. Easy, that's 2 projects. Oh my gosh, I can do that. Okay, like, I'm even in school and I think I can do that. And work full time. It'll happen. Okay, done. So let's move on to some stitching, shall we? Okay, so this was one that I thought was so cute, so I just had to get it, of course. It is a cross stitch piece, which I have been cross stitching since also middle school, I believe, but like not often. Just, I finished up one of my grandma's projects for her, and that's probably, other than like off and on, I did like a little fox thing that I gave to one of my friends for Christmas, you know, just like here and there, a little bit of like razzle dazzle, but nothing like too, like, you guys know what I mean. So here is the project so far. So I am starting from the right side of the piece itself, and it does say Mrs. So the whole thing is going to be Mr. and Mrs., and then I'll put cook down here, and it has some flowers and flowers up here. Let me see. Okay, so here is the actual, and like, I just got this from Walmart. What I really want to do is just like have a bunch of these and like hang them around my like creatives, like knitting bookshelf area. But yes, so this is the start of it. So I did the outline of the letters, and now I'm just going back through and filling them in. So it's pretty exciting. So that is my cross stitch piece. That probably, I got all of that done. It's been a while, so it probably took me like 2 hours, which is probably a lot. But again, it's been a long time since I've cross stitched, so I really enjoyed it. And it was kind of a different like focus than knitting. I don't know if that makes sense, but it like does to me, so maybe it will to you guys too. So I did get a few things from Michael's to try my hand at embroidery. I know. So I got some hoops I got just some like white cotton fabric. I don't even know if you should use cotton for embroidery. I don't know anything about embroidery, but we're gonna try it and it'll be fine. And then I got this like kind of marbly colored fabric as well. It kind of looks like it's just like a handkerchief. But it says it's fabric tissue. I don't know what that means. And then I got, what I want to do is do a cute little cacti piece. So I bought some greens. I bought this cool green. I love this one. I don't know. It probably looks like baby poop, but I think it's a cool color. And then I bought this really pretty blue. Can you even see this? Yeah. Blue. It probably did not focus. And then I got black, white, brown, and then this pink for the flowers for the cacti. So I'm gonna do the cacti piece on the marble. And then this, I don't know what we're gonna do. I'd like to share a book and a movie that I'm enjoying right now. So the movie is a Netflix original, and it is Always Be My Maybe. It is with Ali and Peter. It's Ali Wong, Peter, I can't remember his last name, but like, oh my gosh, they're so cute together in that movie. Adorable TV couple. And it was such a fun, I think it just came out too, and it was such a fun little like rom-com, which I'm usually not super into, but I was like super in support of the two leading characters being Asian. It was amazing. It was such a fun, silly movie. I cried a few times. I'm so emotional. I had like a tear a few times. It wasn't like sobbing. It was just like a sweet like tear, and a bunch of laughs, and it was gloriously awkward. And then seeing people fall back in love with one another after kind of forgetting that, and some weird in the middle. And it was wonderful. So I absolutely loved that movie. I definitely recommend you watch it. It is on Netflix now, and it's fantastic. Even if you don't like rom-coms, just go and watch it, just support it. It was, yeah, I can't say anything bad about it. I thought it was really fun and a great like summertime movie that you just like want to be happy and watch a great movie, and that was a good one to watch. I had a super early morning this morning. I woke up at like 4:30 with this fella down here. So I was pretty tired, hence the large cup of coffee. And then after I took him out, I did like 2 hours of homework. And today's my day off. So I have Thursday, Friday at home and off, other than like work. So not really off, but for the most part. And then of course Saturday off too. And I work Sunday through Wednesday. So I did a bunch of my homework, and I was like, okay, I need to go lay back down. And I knew I needed to lay back down because Buddy, our dog, had not even gotten up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go back to bed. So I couldn't go back to sleep because I'd had coffee. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna watch a show. I was gonna watch Gilmore Girls. And then that movie popped up, and I was like, this is what I need. The universe has spoken. So next I'd like to talk about a book that I'm reading right now. It is a required book for class. So like I found the book because I had to read it for class. However, I've actually already finished it. Classes started last Thursday at 8 a.m. It's Thursday at 12 p.m. of the next week. I loved it. It was so good. It is called The Startup of You. It is by Reid Hoffman, who is the co-founder of LinkedIn, and he's a chairman for LinkedIn as well. So it's basically about entrepreneurship, becoming the best version of yourself, investing in yourself, understanding assets and risks, and really learning about your career and transforming your career. And as someone who's about to, even though I do work a traditional office job, you know, I have desires. I want to move up. I want to move to a different department. And in order to do that, I do have to have a degree. I do have to have certain skills and assets and know how to use them. So that is kind of what my degree is all about, is that leadership, educating yourself about leadership and learning how to educate others about leadership, as well as human resources. So yeah, here it is, Startup of You. I really recommend it if you are, and you know, I don't do too much reading these days other than school. I hope that when I graduate, I'll be able to get back into my old reading habits. Before at college, I read all the time. For fun, for class. Now it's just for class because there's so much detail that we have to go into. And I work full-time, and I didn't obviously in high school, and I have other obligations and all that kind of stuff. So I really was excited that my professor assigned a book. That was exciting, that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't put this down. Obviously I couldn't, so I recommend it. Go and get it. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, you can, I think, take things about this book and apply them to any work sector. So go get it. You was some of my hand dyed yarn that I really enjoy making. I just wanted to show you guys that another way that you can support your own craft is getting the materials yourself and kind of starting from the beginning. While it is wonderful and awesome to support other hand dyers, like hand dyed yarn companies, small businesses, you kind of sometimes, at least for me, want to be realistic about cost and effectiveness of that cost. I do like getting certain things. If I see something that I'm like, oh, I have to have it, I'm definitely not going to stop myself, but also I know that I can make things that are beautiful too. So I started hand dyeing my yarn, and again, this is not sold or anything anywhere. If it will focus, this needs to stop focusing. There we go. And I'm still learning. You know, there are a lot of things about each skein that I'm not sure that I like. So this is one color. I have another one of that. This is what I'm actually knitting those socks out of that I showed you earlier. So this is it skeined up. This one, the skeins are messy on this one, sorry. I want to recreate this, make it, make the gray pop out a little bit more, and add some speckles of gold. And I'd like to call it Dumbledore. I mean, just like, look at that pink. I love it. I can't even. This one, this is actually the pink one of the sock that I, like the heel, toe, and cuff. This one is fun. And then I have these two. And then here is this one. Very, very light. Have a few, I think, reds and golds. And then this one. I love this one. I call it this one Gringotts. I thought it was a lot of fun. It is gold, green, and I don't know if you can see it, but are some specks of red in there. But yeah. Well, that is going to be my episode for today. I hope you guys did enjoy this. I had a lot of fun kind of showing off my own yarn, hopefully inspiring some of you guys to dye your own yarn as well. It's a lot of fun. You get to kind of play around with colors and imagine things that, I don't know, if you know that you see a project and you're like, I need this color for this project and it needs to have this, this, and this, and this. Like I've had that feeling before. And that's kind of where this one came from and where this one came from. So yeah, these are two different bases. I got a few different bases. As far as the yarn goes, I dye with, I think it's called the Jack Eel, or I don't know. I can put a picture of the name of it down here, but you know, just for, it's just, you know, whatever you can get. That's what I dye with. And I just have a lot of fun with it. And I think that's what's important. So I love, you can hear my dog over there. He's telling me it's time to go out. So I love, you know, making my own yarn and then making it into my own things. And it just feels like, wow, I dyed that and then I knit that and now it's mine. So it's had something really special and different to have. I loved sharing with you my works in progress as well as a languishing whip. I'm gonna hold myself to that goal, end of June. And it's time to go out, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope this will be up tomorrow, maybe today, I'm not sure. But in either case, enjoy your weekend whenever this comes out. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your week. Hopefully I'll see you next week, next Thursday, with a new cup of coffee and some more yarn. Bye guys. Okay, cool.